Khanda refers to the peacock feather that was owned by the Krishna avatar of Vishnu. We are bonded because of an illusion of the form of Dharma. He takes the form of Dharma, who is generating the anger within the evil people or within us, the evil side of us, one who supports the earth. You can think of it from that point of view if you are looking at it as earth, or one who receives all forms of worship. So he's been worshipped in any form that you would love to. Decide whether your anger can be a friend or an enemy. Yeah. So this is a very high level thing pointed about KRODHA. Here in this contest, we need to divide it into 6 different aspects of the mind, and that includes anger. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting vlog number 33 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This painting follows the principle of calligram or micrography, using which 1000 names of Sri Vishnu are getting painted. While the painting is going on, I'm also making an effort to understand the deeper meanings behind these names, taking tangential perspectives with the help of scriptures from Sanatana Dharma, sometimes, Shrimad Bhagavadam or Bhagavad Gita and such. And the same I am sharing with you via these weekly vlogs. We have covered up to names 310 in our previous vlogs. If you haven't checked that out, please do check that out and come back, because there's a lot of connections between the names and I keep referring back and forth to the previous sessions. Today's session is going to cover names 311 through 320, and we are going to discuss a very important friend in our life. KRODHA, anger. Is that the friend or an enemy? We will figure that out in today's session. So we have a very interesting discussion coming up in our session today. So without much ado, let's get on with the 10 names and their meanings first, and then move on to the KRODHA. So starting with the 311th name, that is Om Shikandine Namaha. Shikanda means peacock feather, and one who is used it as a decoration in his crown when he adopted the form of a cowherd. What are we referring to? The Krishna avatar. Cowherd is the Krishna avatar. He was the Gopa or the cowherd. So he's referring to this name is referring to the Krishna avatar. Shikanda refers to the peacock feather that was owned by the Krishna avatar of Vishnu. 312th name is Om Nahushaya Namaha. This means one who binds all beings by Maya. The root Nah means bondage. So there is a bondage, that is happening. Why? It's because of the Maya, the illusion we talked about in many of our sessions previously. So we are bonded because of an illusion. 313th name is Om Vrishaya Namaha. This means one who is of the form of Dharma. He takes the form of Dharma. How is that? I think we will discuss that as well indirectly when we go in depth into the anger in a short while from now. So let's go into the next name, that is 314th name, which is Om Krodhagne Namaha. KRODHA. Yes. KRODHA, now we know the name. It refers to anger. Krodhagne Namaha. What does it mean? One who eradicates the anger in virtuous people. I'm not going to elaborate this because I want to look at the next name and then elaborate. 315th name is Om Krodha Krut Kartre Namaha. Krodha Krut Kartre Namaha. This means one who generates Krodha or anger in evil people. what is this? Completely, from different angles. So he is the one who is generating the anger within the evil people or within us, the evil side of us. Can we take it in that angle? So he is the one who creates that anger within us, and he is the one who also eradicates that from the previous name. This is hard for me to understand, at least. I'm going to need the help of the detailing coming from Bhagavad Gita in a short while from now, while we move on to the 316th name, that Om Vishwa Bhagave Namaha. This means one who is the support of all, or one who has got all the beings as his own arms. So the multiple arms, the zillion arms we always discussed in the previous videos, also not necessarily can be imagined as physical multiple arms. Of course, you see the paintings where there are multiple arms. You see all this Asian or Indian arts and architecture showing multiple arms, but not necessarily that has to be understood as physically having too many arms. This is also kind of metaphor pointing to us as his arms. Yeah, he is actually running the world through all of us in a way. So can we say that we are all his arms? That is the perspective, at least I would like to take. 317th name is Om Mahidharaya Namaha. This means, Mahi means both earth and worship. So there are two meanings coming out of the same name. Mahi refers to, it could refer to earth or worship. So this name means one who supports the earth. You can think of it from that point of view if you are looking at it as earth, or one who receives all forms of worship. So he's been worshipped in any form that you would love to. So again, coming back to the bigger thought process that we don't necessarily need to follow one particular religion or one particular god within a religion or goddess within a religion. Anything that goes in any dimension also, culminates into, the worship culminates into him, the supreme being. So we can understand Mahidharaya Namaha from that perspective, or think of the one that is supporting this earth or supporting the cosmos and such. The two perspectives, yes. So now we are moving to 318th name, which is Om Achyutaya Namaha. Here in this context, the meaning that is given is one who is without the transformations that we all go through naturally, the birth, the younger age, the childhood, younger age, and adolescence and adulthood and such, all these transformations. He is completely devoid of that. That is the meaning coming from this. But Achyutaya Namaha, we have looked at this name in many places before, and it has different perspectives. The most interesting meaning that I feel personally connected to is the one who never leaves his devotees. That is one perspective, one meaning of Achyutaya Namaha that I personally connect with, and I will always remember. I don't need the reference of a book, but I feel personally connected to it. But here in this context, it refers to one without any kind of transformation, like birth, transforming into adulthood, death and such. 319th name is Om Pratitaya Namaha. Pratitaya Namaha. Om Pratitaya Namaha means one who is famous because his works, like creation of worlds, is because of his activities, he is famous. What kind of activities? The creation of different worlds, different, the universe, the cosmos and everything. 320th name is Om Pranaya Namaha. We have discussed prana in greater detail as this life energy, and now here it is from the point of one who has the Hiranyagarbha endows all beings with the prana. He is the one that is giving this life energy within us, the prana, life energy within us. So that is the perspective that is coming from this particular name in this context here in this set of names. With that, we come to the end of the 10 names that we had to look at today. Now we come and meet up with our very, very good friend. Did we talk about this friend previously? I think yes. KRODHA, we talked about a little bit or maybe a little more in our vlog number 31. If you haven't checked it out, please do so and come back. So today we are going to look at KRODHA in a greater depth. And if we have looked at this vlog number 31 before, we already know that this friend doesn't come alone. He is always having some more friends along, isn't it? Who are they? We will also look at that. I'm going to take the help of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. I am in Canto number 6, verse 6. Yes, let's look at that. I'm going to break it down, read it, and then we will look at the meaning. Bandhuhu atma atmanaha tasya yena atma eva atmana jitaha anatmanaha tu shatrutve varteta atma eva shatruvat. Let's look at the meaning in pieces. Bandhuhu refers to friend, Atma the mind, Atmanaha of the living entity, Tasya of him, Yena by whom, Atma the mind, Eva certainly, Atmana by the living entity, of the living entity, by the living entity, Jitaha conquered, Anatmanaha of one who has failed to control the mind. I am kind of getting it, but I need more help. Tu, but Satrutve points to Shatru, enemy, because Satrutve here is because of enmity. Varteta remains, Atma eva, the very mind, Shatruvat as an enemy. I think I'm guessing that the mind can be your friend or enemy. Let's look at the meaning. Here I am looking at the meaning given from Veda base and also from the book here. So in the book the meaning is to one who has conquered the self by self, the self has served as one's friend. Whereas onto the uncontrolled man, the self itself becomes adverse like an adversary. Sorry, I am unable to control my laughter because it's really hard to decide whether your anger can be a friend or an enemy. And most probably it turns out to be an enemy. This is really high level written. I'm going to read out from Veda base as well. For him who has conquered the mind, it is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Yeah, so this is a very high level thing pointed about KRODHA. But now look at the mind that is discussed here in this context. We need to divide it into 6 different aspects of the mind, and that includes anger. So remember, in our vlog 31 we looked at there is kama, isn't it? Desire, lust, and krodha, okay, greed, lobha, yeah, and matsarya, that is envy or jealousy, madha, ego, moha, attachment. That is 6, and I'm going to add one more. Take a little bit liberty. I think some people have added the 7th also. Alasya, laziness. Yeah, these are all great friends. It all starts with the mind. Everything is sitting within the mind. Whether it's going to help us get to somewhere, I don't know. Most of the time it works to the our own self-destruction, unfortunately. So these are the things, and they usually come in together. And if we come back to the meaning here that is defined in this Bhagavad Gita, Canto 6, verse 6, Once we learn how to conquer the mind being all these 6 elements within the mind, the feelings within the mind of kama, krodha, lobha, matsarya, mada, moha, and also add on laziness, that is alasya. All things put together, if we control, then it is our friend. So the word that is used is conquered or controlled, even in different meanings. So I'm going to just point that to you. We are not talking about eradicating all these feelings. Why? If you come back to the basic concept of this Bhagavad Gita, what is that all about? These 700 verses is a discussion between the Lord God and Arjuna. Where does it happen? At the war ground. And he is actually losing the anger against the enemies, and he wants to just drop off everything and run away. Yeah. And what does he need now? To build on the needed anger to continue his dharma or karma of being that Kshatriya, the person who has to be performing the duty of the war itself. Yeah. So it is needed. All these feelings we have to pass through. The word conquering the mind, or the phrase conquering the mind, or whenever you see that, limiting, conquering, controlling, all these words are not equal to eradicating thoroughly. Eradicating is the duty of the God itself in a way. Remember the 314th name, Om Krodhagne Namaha, is one who eradicates anger in virtuous people. So at this stage, our expectation is that we control it and not eradicate it right away. So think of it as tools to be used only in the right place when needed. That positioning of these feelings at the right place and time, this matters. That is needing a control, where you can use it when needed and hold back when it's not at all needed. You will show attachment to some people, and that's a part of life. You cannot avoid it, and you cannot think of a normal life of grihastha, a person that is in a family, to completely detach of moha and not have attachment at all with his or her own parents, family, children, wife, husband. All these relations do matter to us, and we need to respect relationship also. So it has to be there, but not too much, isn't it? So there must be a control, not that level that it goes out of control and it starts even damaging the relationship. So all these elements are to be controlled. That is the key that I will take away from this particular learning. So I will think of only controlling and using anger, Krodha, and his friends as my friends and not my enemies. And it's up to me and you. Is that so simple? Remember, we talked about the prana also in one of the episodes, where we talked about how we learn to control the in-breath and out-breath, and that gives us the needed moment to think through something that is going on in the head. Of course, you cannot get away with it, but can we just bring it down one notch today and maybe another notch tomorrow? That will be a good start, I think. I hope you found this session useful and interesting. Do share your thoughts on the best friends, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Matsarya, Mada, Moha, and also Alasya. What do you think of them? Have you had experiences of using it at the right place and right, to the right person and seeing some benefit out of it, or had experiences using it exactly in the wrong place, burning the fingers and such? Please do share your thoughts on this. Until we meet in the next session, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay motivated. Thank you. Bye-bye.